Hello students, welcome to BioSmart Academy. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about a very important topic, that is transport ATPs. Okay, as I already started active transport system, okay, and I already upload a video on active transport system. I already upload a video on active transport system. Okay, so this is the basically continuation part of the active transport system. Okay, so transport ATPs. Okay, so before I discuss this lecture, I want to recommend you that please subscribe BioSmart Academy YouTube channel, as this YouTube channel provides you free online lectures, and all these lectures are made strictly according to the syllabus of the CSIR NET, so that you get benefited from this lecture and you can face or you can qualify any of these examination easily, that is CSIR NET, GATE, DBT or ICMR. So please subscribe BioSmart Academy YouTube channel, and please share this channel. Please share this channel as much as possible. Please share this channel as much as possible to all those students who are preparing for these examinations. Okay, because they need these lectures. Okay, so let's start today's topic, that is transport ATPs. Okay, see, first of all, I want to mention you one thing, that transport ATPs, that is today's topic, is very important. It's very important from examination point of view. Okay, so please watch this lecture till end. Please watch this lecture till end. Okay, so let's start. See, transport ATPs. Okay, it means, as the name suggests, that these are basically ATP powered pumps. Okay, so transport ATPs are basically ATP powered pump. ATPs, which means by using the energy of ATP. Okay, by using the energy of ATP. Okay, by using the energy of ATP. So these are basically ATP powered pumps which transport ions and various small molecules against their concentration gradient. Okay, against their concentration gradient. Clear? Now, there are basically four major types. There are basically four major type of ATPases which are associated with the membrane, that coupled ATP hydrolysis with the translocation of various small ions and molecule. Okay, see, basically what is the function of ATPases? We all know that ATPases basically hydrolysis ATP. Okay, basically hydrolysis ATP, and by using the energy of this hydrolysis ATP, by using this energy, this transport ATPs basically transport various ions and molecules, various ions and molecules. Okay, various ions and molecules across the membrane. Okay, so clear? So basically transport ATPs basically hydrolyze the ATP, and by using this energy, by using the hydrolysis energy of this ATP, the ions and molecules are basically transported across the plasma membrane. Clear? Next, so basically there are four major types of ATPases. First is PATPase, second is VATPase, second is VATPase, third is FATPase, and fourth is ABC transporter. Okay, so in today's lecture we are going to discuss in details about PATPase, VATPase and FATPase. Okay, and in tomorrow's lecture we will discuss about the ABC transporter in details. Okay, so in today's lecture we are going to cover these three ATPs. Okay, so till now I believe that you got a clear idea about the transport ATPase. Okay, that is, this ATPase basically hydrolyze the ATP, and by using the energy of ATP, it basically transport small ions and various small molecules across the membrane. Clear? Next, so first we have to discuss about the P type ATPase. Okay, or P class ATPase. Okay, or P class pumps. Okay, so whatever it is, we have to discuss about P ATPase. See, all these lecture are very important from examination point of view. Okay, start. So P ATPase. What are P ATPase? PATPase basically have simple polypeptide composition and are phosphorylated during catalysis. Okay, so when the catalysis was done, it was basically phosphorylated. Okay, you will get a clear idea about the PATPase. Okay, see, PATPase or P class pumps, also known as P class pumps, basically have two catalytic unit of alpha subunit. Okay, basically PATPase contain two alpha subunit. Okay, two identical catalytic alpha subunit. Okay, and this alpha subunit contain ATP binding site. Okay, this alpha subunit contain what? ATP binding site. Okay, it means P class pumps or PATPase contain two identical alpha subunit which contain ATP binding site. Okay, and it also contain two smaller beta subunit which have regulatory function. Clear? Next. And during the transport of any molecule, suppose the ion or any other molecule is basically going to be transported across the plasma membrane. So during this transport, this alpha subunit become phosphorylated, hence the name P class means phosphorylated, and the transported ions move through the phosphorylated subunit. Okay, means what? Means suppose this is p-type ATPase or p-type class pump. Okay, p-type ATPase or p-type class pump. Okay, or p-type class pump. Okay, see, this p-type ATPases contain two alpha subunit and two beta subunit. Okay, two alpha subunit and two beta subunit. Okay, and these two alpha subunit contain ATP binding site. Okay, contain ATP binding site. Okay, and this beta subunit basically have a regulatory function. Clear? Basically have a regulatory function, and this alpha subunit basically contain ATP binding site. Okay, now suppose a ion have to be transported across the bilayer. Okay, these ions have to be transported across the bilayer. Okay, have to be transported. So for the transport of these ions, this alpha subunit basically become what? Phosphorylated. Basically this alpha subunit was phosphorylated. Okay, basically this alpha subunit become phosphorylated. Okay, and this phosphorylated alpha subunit helps in transport of these ions or a particular molecule across the bilayer, and from this phosphorylated characteristics is get the name p-type ATPase. Okay, because of this phosphorylated character it get the name p-type ATPase. This p name is came from the phosphorylated. Now I think you get a clear idea about the p-type ATPase. If you still have any doubt, then you may ask question on the comment box. Next, let's look at the examples. See, these examples are very much important from examination point of view. Okay, so the example like sodium potassium ATPase is a classical example of p-type ATPase. Okay, sodium potassium ATPase is a classical example of p-type ATPase. Okay, what does sodium potassium ATPase do? As I mentioned you in the previous lecture, basically the sodium potassium ATPase basically maintain the concentration of sodium and potassium in cytosol, that is low sodium and high potassium in cytosol. It basically maintain. Okay, I already discussed in details about this, so you may watch that lecture. Okay, next, another example is H plus ATPase. What this H plus ATPase present? It presents mainly in the plasma membrane of fungi and plants. Clear? Another example is the calcium ATPase. This is Ca2. Okay, so calcium ATPase present in sarcoplasmic reticulum. Okay, what does calcium ATPase do? Basically it transport calcium out of the cytosol. Okay, so this is a function of calcium ATPase. So these are some example of p-type ATPase, that is sodium potassium ATPase, H plus ATPase and calcium ATPase. Okay, now let's look at this diagram. This diagram was taken from the Loddy cell biology book. Okay, and this is very important for your understanding. Okay, that how it works. See, as I already mentioned you that one alpha subunit is present and one beta subunit is present. Alpha subunit basically have ATP binding site in it, okay, while beta subunit have regulatory function, okay, regulatory function, okay, clear. Next, and one of the alpha subunit get phosphorylated, and with this phosphorylation, ions or small molecules get transported across the bilayer, across the bilayer. So this is a basic concept as I already mentioned. And here the examples were given: plasma membrane of plant and fungi, H plus pump present, Na plus K plus pump is present in higher eukaryote, and apical plasma membrane of mammalian stomach, H plus K plus pump is present. Calcium pump is present in all eukaryotic cells, while sarcoplasmic reticulum membrane in muscle cell. Here also calcium pump is present. So these are the example of p-type ATPase. So please remember all these things. Okay. Now let's move to VATPase. What? VATPase. As the name suggests, V means what? V means vacuole. V means vacuole. Clear? V means vacuole. Okay. Now, what does this VATPase do? Basically, this VATPase coupled ATP hydrolysis. Coupled ATP hydrolysis to transport proton against a concentration gradient. So, VATPase is basically transport proton. Okay, is basically transport proton. Proton means H plus ions. It basically transport protons against a concentration gradient, okay, by using the energy of ATP hydrolysis, okay. But in this case, no phosphorylation will take place. No phosphorylation will takes place. Clear? Next, the VATPase basically found in the endosomal and lysosomal membrane in animal cell, plasma membrane of osteoclast, and V class in plant cell, and V class in plant cell. Okay, so this transport ATPase are found on the vacuolar membrane, as the name drive V class. Vacuolar membrane, as the name drive V class, in plant cell, endosomal and lysosomal membrane in animal cell, and plasma membrane of osteoclast. So these are some example where these VATPase are present. Okay, next, this VATPase, what is the main function this VATPase do? Very important point. Okay, please note it down. This VATPase generally function to maintain the low pH of plant vacuole and lysosomes and other acidic vacuole. Basically, this VATPase maintain the pH level, that is very low pH level. As you already know that lysosome contain acid vesicle. How this lysosome maintain its pH? That is I think less than 5 or 5. Okay, there may be something. Okay, how? So because of this VATPase, lysosome maintain the acidic pH. Okay, because of this VATPase, the plant vacuole maintain the low pH. So basically this VATPase basically maintain the low pH in plant vacuole, lysosomes and acidic vacuole. Okay, so this is the main function of VATPase. Now a question has been arise that how this VATPase maintain the low pH of plant vacuole, lysosomes and other vacuoles. So basically this VATPase pump proton from cytosol to the exoplasmic phase of the membrane. Okay, this VATPase pump proton from cytosol to the exoplasmic membrane, to the exoplasmic membrane. Okay, to the exoplasmic membrane. Okay, to the exoplasmic membrane. So this VATPase basically what it do is basically pump proton. That is, here is a cytosol and this is the proton and this is a proton. So basically this VATPase pump this proton from cytosol to the exoplasmic membrane, so it basically pump proton from cytosol to the exoplasmic membrane, and by this way it basically maintain the low pH of lysosome and other plant vacuole or acidic vacuoles. So this is the clear concept about VATPase. Now I think you got a clear idea. If question has been asked from this point, I think you may answer. If you have still in doubt, then please ask on the comment box. Now let's look at the diagram. Okay, See, as I mentioned, basically what VATPs do is basically pump proton from cytosol to the exoplasmic surface. Okay, so here also the some of the examples were given, that is present in vacuolar membrane is in plant, yeast and other fungi, vacuolar membrane, endosomal and lysosomal membrane of animal cells, and plasma membrane of osteoclast and some kidney tubule cell. Okay, so now, so this is all about VATPs. Now let's move to FATPs. Okay, let's move to FATPs. Now the name F is derived from the F naught F1, from the F naught F1, and this F naught F1 is present in the mitochondria of animal cell. We all know that. Okay, this is basically a ATPase function. Okay, so it is also known as F naught F1 ATPase. It is also known as F naught F1 ATPase. Its composition is very similar, very much similar to VATPase. Its composition is very much similar to the VATPase. Okay, remember this thing. And what does this FATPase do? This FATPase basically do what? See, first of all V and FATPase are transport only proton. Remember this point. Okay, very important point. V and FATPase mainly what it do, basically they all transport protons. Remember, all V and FATPase mainly transport protons. Clear? So FATPase also known as F naught F1 ATPase. From here this name is originated. Its composition is very much similar to VATPase, and all known V and FATPases, all known V means all known V and FATPases transport only protons in a process that does not involve phosphorylation, as phosphorylation is involved where? Phosphorylation is involved in case of only p type ATPase. In case of only p type ATPase, phosphorylation involved. In both F and V ATPase, phosphorylation does not involve. It only relate with transport of protons. Clear? Please note it down that V and FATPase are related together as they only transport protons. Okay, and there are no phosphorylation takes place in both V and FATPase. Phosphorylation basically involved in case of p type ATPase. Clear? Now, in non-photosynthetic eukaryote, FATPase is found on inner membrane of mitochondria. What do you mean by non-photosynthetic? Mean in case of animals, because we are not photosynthesized. As we all know that we are not photosynthesized. So in case of non-photosynthetic eukaryote, FATPase are found in mitochondria, while in case of green plants and algae, there are two distinct FATPase, one in mitochondria and another one is thylakoid. Another one is thylakoid in chloroplast. Clear? While in bacteria, where this FATPase present, in bacteria this FATPase is present in the plasma membrane. This FATPase is present in the plasma membrane in case of bacteria. Clear? So now let's look at this diagram. See, as I already mentioned, this FATPase is also deal with the transport of proton like that of VATPase. Okay, and both in FATPase and VATPase, phosphorylation does not involve. Okay, phosphorylation involve only in case of p-type ATPase. Clear? There are some example. FATPase present in bacterial plasma membrane, inner mitochondrial membrane of animal cell, and thylakoid membrane of chloroplast. That is in case of fungus or you can say plant. Okay, so this is all about the three type of ATPase, that is V, P and F. Okay, I think you got a clear idea about the V type ATPase, P type ATPase and F type ATPase. Okay, if you still have any doubt, then please comment on the comment box. Please share Biosmart Academy YouTube channel as much as possible and subscribe it. Tomorrow we will going to discuss another type of ATPase, that is ABC transporter. Very important from examination point of view. So please subscribe and share. Till then, thank you.